Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero. Today we're going to be talking about the FTC fining Epic Games $420 million for violating child laws and using quote-unquote dark patterns for deceptive purchases in Fortnite. Meanwhile, they're really just selling skins. I don't see what they're exactly doing. This is the same FTC that's going after Microsoft for trying to complete the Activision Blizzard purchase, as Sony is trying to stop them from making Call of Duty exclusive, even though on excuse me, on PlayStation they've got things like Final Fantasy 16 time exclusivity, Final Fantasy Rebirth exclusivity, Forspoken exclusivity, and so on and so on. Yet you're trying to stop Microsoft from having exclusivity on things. Meanwhile, you've got deals with Square Enix to have timed exclusivity, and Final Fantasy VII Remake is still not on Xbox, but somehow it's a problem for Xbox to have exclusive nowadays. But we're going to jump right into it from Mailing into Comics. Epic Games fined $520 million by the FTC for violating child privacy laws and using, quote, dark patterns for deceptive purchases in Fortnite. The Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, has fined Epic Games $520 million on the grounds of violating children's privacy laws and tricking Fortnite players into unintended purchases. Announced by the FTC on Monday, the Commission explains Epic Games violated Children's Online Privacy Protection Act (COPPA) and deployed design tricks known as dark patterns to dupe millions of players into making unintentional purchases. They sell Fortnite skins. They sell skins, bro. What dark patterns could you possibly use to sell skins? You just put them out there, and that's it. They further explained the fine is made up of two different record-breaking settlements: $275 million for the COPPA violation, the highest penalty ever given for violating that law, and $245 million refunded to players for, quote, its dark patterns and billing practices. The latter is not just the FTC's largest refund in a gaming-related case, but the largest administrative order in history. Additionally, in a first-of-its-kind provision, the FTC explains Epic will be required to adopt strong privacy default settings for children and teens, ensuring that voice and text communication are turned off by default. FTC Chair Lena M. Khan continued explaining, quote, as our complaints note, Epic used privacy invasive default settings and deceptive interfaces that tricked Fortnite users, including teenagers and children. It's a teen-rated game. Parents allow children to play this game. So it's not like the children just stumble upon this. Typically the parents have to allow them to play it. Protecting the public and especially children from online privacy invasions and dark patterns is a top priority for the Commission, and these enforcement actions made clear to businesses that the FTC is cracking down on these unlawful practices, which, by the way, all of our phones are privacy invasions. Are you going to crack down on them too? You're going to crack down on the phone providers who are constantly listening to us at all times? Associate Attorney General Vanita Gupta, gross, added the Justice Department takes very seriously its mission to protect consumers' data's privacy rights. No, they don't. This proposed order sends a message to all online providers that collecting children's personal information without parental consent will be tolerated. I don't think that's what they're actually doing. FTC Director of the Bureau of Consumer Protection Samuel Levine also drove the point home. Epic put children and teens at risk through its lax privacy practices and cost consumers millions in illegal charges through its use of dark patterns. Meanwhile, I still haven't yet to see any evidence of this. Under the proposed orders announced today, the company will be required to change its default settings to turn millions to consumers and pay a record-breaking penalty for its privacy abuses. The FTC announcement continues, showing the COPPA-based complaint argued and proved that Fortnite players under the age of 13 had their personal information collected without notification or consent of their parents and violated the FTC's act by enabling real-time voice and text chat communications for children and teens by default. I'm pretty sure, again, you need to put in information. The adults have to know, for the most part, if they're playing this game, but okay. Along with Epic Games making parents jump through unreasonable hoops to have their children's information deleted and sometimes fail in honor such requests, the default text and voice communication meant children and teens have been bullied, threatened, harassed, and exposed to dangerous psychological traumatizing issues such as suicide while on Fortnite. Simple, take the game away from the child. Be a parent. Epic Games employees even expressed concerns with the default option, but to no avail. The complaint even states while there was a button turn off voice chat, Epic made it difficult for users to find. As such, the proposed federal court order dictates voice and text chat in Fortnite must be first enabled by a parent. But there you go. Well, that's something they're doing now. For under 13s or teenagers providing their parents consent via privacy settings. Epic Games must also delete all previously gathered data that violated COPPA, establish a comprehensive privacy program, and undergo regular independent audits. So not only do they have to do all this, they have to constantly be watched. As for the illegal dark patterns complaint, the FTC argued Fortnite's counterintuitive, inconsistent, and confusing button configuration led players to incur unwanted charges based on the press of a single button. That makes no sense. The buttons are clearly state what each button does. It's not a confusing button configuration. The FTC is just stupid. They're stupid people. This included when waking the game from sleep mode, loading, or pressing an adjacent button while attempting simply to preview an item. This led to hundreds of millions of dollars in unauthorized charges for consumers. It's not really an... It's not... yeah. In addition, children could buy V-Bucks without parental or cardholder consent simply by pressing buttons until 2018. They still needed a parent's credit card in order to do this. And you could turn... And most parents, if they're smart enough, will know to put on a passcode every time they want to use the card. But, again, you're putting the blame on the kids, not the blame on the adults who are letting the kids play the game. Like, what the fuck? When consumers disputed unauthorized charges with their credit card companies, Epic Games then locked their Fortnite accounts, losing access to all content purchased. Those who had their accounts unlocked were warned that they could be banned for life if they dispute any future charges. The thing is, this has been going on for a long time in games, though. This isn't a new thing. It's really not. Along with the $245 million refund, prohibits Epic from charging consumers through the use of dark patterns or from otherwise charging consumers without obtaining their affirmative consent, or blocking consumers from accessing their accounts from disputing unauthorized charges. I'm pretty sure it asks you multiple times before you make a purchase, but whatever. In both proposed administrative orders, the commission voted 4-0 to issue the formal complaint. So again, they're putting the blame on Epic, not on the actual parents who are letting their children play this game, and the parents putting their credit cards on their children's Fortnite account. So where's the responsibility overall is not on Epic. The responsibility overall is on the parents who are letting their children have a credit card on their Fortnite account. So parents should be more responsible by putting a passcode so that every time their child wants to purchase an item from this game, they're not allowed to unless their parent puts in a passcode. That would easily solve these problems. But of course, it's somehow Epic Games' fault that someone accidentally presses a button and purchases something that they have to be sued for this, right? Again, this is the same company that wants to stop Microsoft from acquiring Activision Blizzard because the Sony boss, Jim Ryan, doesn't want Call of Duty taken off of Xbox, off of PlayStation, even though Phil Spencer already said he's not doing that. So, and he's even given him a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation consoles, and yet he's still trying to block it. Meanwhile, like I said, PlayStation has quite a few exclusive games on their platform, but you don't see Microsoft or Xbox going after them for having them. Phil Spencer has said in the past, having exclusives makes you a competitor, makes the competition competitive, and basically fighting for consumers' dollars, and that they're key to what platform somebody chooses to play on. But Jim Ryan's gonna be a little crybaby with his single-player walking simulator games like Death Stranding, right? Or games that are just all kind of look the same single-player wise. Meanwhile, y'all got no multiplayer games to show for shit. Meanwhile, Microsoft can do both, but y'all somehow need Call of Duty, right? Y'all want to mess with the consumer with Call of Duty, but you don't want to fix the problem by just making multiplayer games with the franchises you already own, like Killzone and Resistance and Last of Us. Factions. People love that, but fuck Sony, honestly, because they like to censor games. They like to censor, anime titties, but y'all want to be out here showing full-blown scenes with Abby the white bitch slayer, all over there. But whatever, Brad. I'm done with this rant. I appreciate you guys checking it out. Thank you for checking it out. Be sure to hit the like button if you like the video. Comment below what you think about all this. Subscribe for more content. And as always, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure you set it to all that we get notifications whenever I post a new video. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.